Hello and welcome to Football 301. I am your host, Nate Tice. Week 7 recap here. I'm joined by my guy, Mr. Forverts, Charles McDonald. Whew, what a day. How you doing today, Chuck?
I'm doing good. I thought that we were going to be efficient for stuff to talk about for most of today because, we had a lot of crappy games, in the early slate. There were a lot of blowouts today. And then the 4 p.m. slate delivered with Bo Nix and Jackson Dart. I don't know what that was, but it was exciting. It was provocative, got people going.
It was provocative. It got me going. I'm discombobulated right now. I was like, oh my god, we're gonna go live in a minute. Oh man, I gotta go hurry up and get ready for this show because we are gonna touch on that game at the very end of the show. But man, that afternoon slate really delivered. We had some high scoring affair in Los Angeles, and on top of some and also in Dallas as well. Some sad things happened there as well too. But let's get into all that. We're gonna go through the ups and downs of Week 7 with 3 highs, 3 lows. High number 1 was from the early slate, and this could be a very low if we wanted to do it as well. But high number 1 is the Chiefs skunking the Raiders 31-0. Yeah. Rashee Rice is back, and the Chiefs wanted you to know it. Wow, he was heavily targeted today. Yes, he had the 2 touchdowns. Even if he only had 42 receiving yards, he ran 16 routes, had 10 targets, 7 catches, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns, a bunch of stuff in the red zone. They were trying over and over again to get him the ball. What do you think about this Chiefs performance today? And I know the Raiders end was not very good, but we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Yeah. The Chiefs, man, it was awesome to see them like kind of get back to like the high octane offense that we know that they're capable of because they have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, and if you just give them just enough pieces, you can score a whole lot of points. And it just looked it looked easy, like especially once they got to the red zone today. It seemed like they had a nice plan, especially for Rashee Rice and the plays that the plays were designed for him, like you said. And then just the overall efficiency of the offense, man, they it really took it to Las Vegas today. It was not a pretty affair for the Raiders on their side of the ball. But for the Chiefs, man, like this is what you want to see if you're like thinking about them as a Super Bowl contender, which you absolutely should be. Just taking care of business against a really crappy divisional opponent. And then it was just kind of cool to see after. I mean, it's been a long time since Rashee Rice has played football, because he had the ACL, then the suspension. So we're talking about since early last year, since he suited up for the Chiefs, and it looked like he never missed any time, and he was absolutely cooking them. So they are about to be a scary team the rest of the way.
Yes, they look fast again. Like they look just, you said explosive, but yeah, I mean, just everybody getting going. The run game's been just steady, but now you're actually seeing it pop. But now all these yak stuff, all the underneath stuff, it's like, oh yeah, other guys were getting going on that. Rashard Smith, Xavier Worthy had some moments with it, but then it's like Rashee Rice is that like with some steroids because he is so good with the ball in his hands. Like it's I wouldn't say a breath of fresh air, but it's just fun to watch because he picks up yards, like eats up yards with the ball in his hands as soon as he catches the ball. He's one of the best players with the ball in his hands in the NFL. I will easily say that. And on top of that, you get the back shoulder fade stuff, which is how he played at SMU. So that's what's so funny about him as an NFL player. Just more to him, I think, as a playmaker. And yeah, I mean, they just they just kept peppering him with everything underneath, and you feel weaponized. And that's on top of now you got Tyquan Smith going down the field. You got Juju Smith-Schuster being around the ball, catching his first downs. You got the Travis Kelce play sprinkled in. And so now you're getting that ball spread out, but now you truly feel like you have that number 1 and all the guys are slotting in. And wouldn't you know it, Patrick Mahomes, 3rd in EPA per play among quarterbacks, 5th in success rate, MVP candidacy, boom, 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 drums beating. And I think the Chiefs, man, I feel as good about the Chiefs as I do as any team in the NFL. Like easy top 5. Yes. You get a power rankings right now. Yeah. We've talked about it. How'd you think of their defense play today too? I know the offense is super encouraging, but what do you think of the defense and what they did? Actually, before I even kick it to you, should I list off some stats today from the Chiefs and Raiders differences?
Please do, because the Raiders, they barely played football today. I don't know what the hell that was.
They literally barely played football today. 30 offensive plays today. The fewest since at least 2002, and I think it's the second fewest ever if you go past that. There's some Browns expansion year 1999, I think, where they had 28 plays, which is not exactly what you want to be compared to. The Chargers today had a drive with 21 plays, to put that in perspective. But it was 434 net yards for the Chiefs, 95 for the Raiders. We had, obviously they went 0 for 7 on third down. They had 3 total first downs, and I think 1 or 2 of those was by penalty. They had a 13% success rate, 3.3 yards per play. They only got sacked once, so at least they got that going for them. Only had 1 turnover. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So, yeah, Chiefs defensive praise, and also Raiders. What was that?
Yeah, I was trying to watch this game, in the quad box. So I was having one of those mornings where I couldn't decide like which game to keep in the quad box, because none of them were compelling like at the same time. And then every time I looked at the Kansas City game, they had the ball, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And then at one point, I looked at the. At one point, I looked at the box score and it said the Raiders had 20, or the Chiefs had 29 first downs to 2 for the Raiders. I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is really, really got out of hand." So I'm fascinated to see what the Raiders decide to do after the season, because I think there's a pretty easy case you should just destroy all of this and start over completely fresh with something else, because this is not. There's nothing to build from here. Like you guys don't do anything. This is terrible.
It is. It's the running plays to Ashton Genty are sad. Geno looks sad. There was one play where Rashee Rice caught a first down, and he runs over to he gets pushed off to the bench, and there's Geno by himself with his head down, and Rashee Rice is offering words of encouragement to Geno Smith as he's in the middle of a play. And I swear to God, I'm not making that up. It was, but that's how it felt. It's like, good vibes, Chiefs. Look at all these points. Look at all these good plays. Everybody gets the ball. And then the Raiders, it was just like anytime they had the ball. If I was with you, they were bottom left. I could tell you the exact quadrant they had on my multi-view. And literally every time I looked up, I'm like, oh, Chiefs have the ball. And I usually have like a tab open on my laptop, and I can go back and maybe see what the plays were. And I was like, yeah, it was just another 3 and out for the Raiders. That's why they got the ball back so quickly. The Chiefs kneeled the ball outside the 2-minute warning at the end of the game. I haven't seen that in years. Because usually they'll be like, oh, put the backups in, let them run some plays. Because there's the traditional NFL way is only the starters are able to take a knee. That's like kind of they're the ones that earn the right to take the knee. The backups, you have to run plays. So the fact they're taking a knee, and the Raiders had 3 timeouts, and they were just like, let's get us out of this game. That's kind of all you needed to know about how this game ended up.
The Raiders, they failed to get a first down on 70% of their drives today. So, yeah, it's not very good.
No, not very good. Not very good. Yeah, but Chiefs feeling very, very good. I would say this is kind of what you want to see. They look like they're rounding into form. Play the Commanders next Monday. Should be a very, very good game. Then they got the Bills, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Texans. So get ready for a lot of Chiefs talk right now, and a lot of relevant games on our preview shows, which we'll be talking about a lot of the Chiefs. And that's the thing. We always have to find something new to talk about them. So get ready for like third down run defense, special teams kick return units, because that's what the Chiefs is like, because you have to find new aspects of them. But they are good right now. All right, let's get on to high number 2, featuring a battle between second-year quarterbacks, Bears, Saints. Yeah, man. Bears win this game 26-14, and that Bears run game, we put it as roars to life, and they did. After putting up the best rushing success rate that a Bears offense has had in a game since 2013 last week against Washington, they put up the 7th best today. I think it was 53%. And that's not including against the Cowboys in week 3. That was their 5th best since 2013. So 7 of their best rushing performances in terms of success rate out of 200 plus games in the last decade plus have come this season. So I think that Ben Johnson run game is really getting going. What are you thinking about the 4-2 Bears right now?
I thought that the run game kind of taking over was awesome to see, especially once you're even on your backup in there with 13 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift had one of the best games I've seen him play. Just in terms of
2 in a row,
being able to find the hole. Yeah. He's been pretty good lately. So I think that this is encouraging, right? Because we've wanted to see what this offense looks like when the run game starts to take off. And I think that it was important to see what the run game can do when the drop back game they were okay. I thought they were a little inconsistent. We've seen them have better games this season throwing the ball, but you were able to run the ball so well that it was okay. You were able to complement it. And that's like why you kind of hire Ben Johnson, because I think reasonable people know that this is going to be a process with Caleb Williams, and to get him where he needs to be, it's still going to be some games where maybe it doesn't click all the way, and you should still be trying to win those games, and you need to be able to run the ball and do that, and they did that today. So Caleb got more help from his running game than Spencer Rattler got from his, for sure, in this one. And man, just a sloppy game from the Saints, man. Just not where you want to see them if you're a fan of that team. And 4 turnovers, and they just kept gifting the Bears good field position towards the end of the game.
I know the Saints they finally got to see some of the parts you wanted to see. The deep ball for Spencer Rattler, some explosive plays, Olave getting really rolling after being in some trade rumors, and then it was just turnovers. That's the thing. It was the flip for the Bears. The Bears passing game had actually been one of the most consistent parts of this team for their first chunk of the season, and now it's the run game and the defense stepping up post bye week, which is good. This is a good thing because I have already seen what this offense perform in explosive ways and successful ways, efficient ways, I should say. So, I mean, this is kind of what you want to feel like. I know it's not going to be perfect. Like Drew Dahlman had like multiple snap issues in the red zone.
Yeah,
like
that was it's
weird. He's such a weird player. Sometimes he did that in Atlanta too all the time. Like, I still remember playing in London where he pulled the wrong way. But no, it's still good. Like you said, like they're figuring out what their way is. The Bears have kind of figured out, okay, we're a zone running team. All right, what are the change ups off of that? And you see them throughout the game. They set up the zone. And it's like a pitcher setting up a pitch. And then as the game goes along, here comes the changeup, which for them is like a wind back play. They got into more, they pulled some guys a lot more today. I thought Colson Loveland was a real highlight today as a blocker. And also shout out to their left tackle, Theo Benedict, because that's a game changer for them. That an undrafted free agent, his second year, another Canadian left tackle in NFC North. I'm going to say that again. But he's played well. I was watching the game back, and he never stood out in a negative way, pass protection wise. So the fact that that's happening on the blind side, Tooney's playing well at left guard. And so, I mean, that's why the offense just feels more cohesive, because those run lanes are really popping. Swift is planting his foot and getting north. He still has yet to make a safety miss. But at least he's getting to the safety. Like he's still, in the past, he'd be winding to the sideline or running into 3 guys. Yeah. So, maybe Eric Bieniemy, I think, is the running back coach there. I saw him today. That was a reminder of that. Maybe he's kind of pounding it into him. Maybe he's finally getting to Swift to trust what he's seeing. So, I don't know. Kyle Manung guy's got, like you mentioned, the backup running back. Roshan Johnson got a couple carries in there. So I think kind of good to see the auxiliary pieces kind of stepping up for the Bears.
Yeah, they're just they're close, man. They're close to being able to put together like one of those games where they just kind of burn it down. Because like in the first half, I mean, even both offenses, I think the Bears had something like a 35% success rate in the first half, and then the second half they had like 55% and around 70% drop back success rate. So it's just still the rookie head coach, young team. They're still trying to figure out, how everything works together. They add a whole lot of new pieces. And I mean, it's just going to take time, but the fact that you can still get glimpses like this where things are working and they're playing good complementary football and offense, that's encouraging. That's encouraging because ultimately we want eventually the Bears to have a watchable offense. Y'all are on TV too much not to have, on national TV too much not to have a good offense. So I really hope this works.
I agree. It's just like where it's not like we're just clowning you all the time and going, what was that? Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. It's encouraging. They got the Ravens next week, and then they got some nice matchups. Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah.
Giants, you can run on a little bit. Vikings, you can run on a little bit. Steelers, you can run on a little bit. Eagles, you can run on a little bit. So it's good that this is not only just consistent. It's not just a couple flash plays. Like it's actual consistency in the offense. So it's good that I've seen games now where the passing game has been stretches consistent. The run game's been consistent. I think Kyler Gordon come back for this defense has been huge. He had a really nice game. And when you see TJ Edwards out there, he really stabilizes a lot too at the secondary, or I'm sorry, the second level, I should say, at linebacker. So it's good. I don't think this defense can rise to maybe what we thought preseason, but if just being decent, and that's what they should be. Just hold up and maybe create a couple of these turnovers. Dennis Allen was really throwing some junk on 3rd and 4th down, which of course he can always do. So it's rounding into form. This has been my Bears kind of take on them for this entire preseason, offseason was like post-bye. They're going to get a little bump. It was just the fact that they had such an early bye. I was like, all right, maybe won't be as drastic, I was thinking, but this is good. This is very, very good. Yeah. We got Caleb showing encouragement. Caleb can turn his back and do play action. He's making consistent decisions. Couple sprays, like the interception he left inside just a little bit. I thought his timing on it was really good, which is, again, there's a couple moments where he's just getting the ball out and trusting it. Like, it's not perfect, but he's like, hey, I remember in practice that against this look, this was open, so I just got to throw it. And he got rewarded with that a couple times. So, again, there's trust in what's going on in the process right now.
Yeah, it's they're close, man. They're closer than I think people realize to really actually being a good offense.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hi, number 3. Colts, Chargers. Well, it was like kind of just back and forth, but even though the Colts controlled this game the entire moment or entire game, but the Chargers couldn't help but Chargers themselves, throughout the game. Several offensive linemen getting hurt throughout the game. Long returns allowed. Got a tip ball interception to Grover Stewart, who's playing fantastic this year. Don't get me wrong, but tip ball interception to Grover Stewart. I just got to say that. But the Colts are a wagon. I mean, where are you with the Colts right now? How many teams do you even think are better than the Colts right now?
I would take Kansas City just because I am a sheep.
I think it's fair.
And then after that, I don't know. I still kind of struggle with the NFC because it just kind of seems like the top is maybe a little bit jumbled. Doesn't seem really anyone's running away with that. But when you're looking at the Colts' offensive efficiency, I just don't know really how you could really have them any lower than 2 right now because nothing that. Because even if you're going to keep being a cynic or a skeptic at this point, you're just pointing at the defenses and saying, oh, this isn't the toughest slate of defenses. Hey, this is 7 weeks of just 7 weeks. I mean, that's we're basically at the midpoint of the season, and they're still scoring a touchdown on almost every drive that they go out there. So it's impossible to say that it's a fluke at this point. I mean, shoot, even last week when we were doing the preview show, this is kind of what I thought would happen. They would just be able to lean on them, and it would get out of control, and they wouldn't really have enough time at the end to come back. Even if you just look at the first half, the Colts had a 64% rushing success rate in the first half. Chargers 0.0% rushing success rate in the first half. So yeah, just another game where the Chargers, they didn't have enough. The Colts were way too overwhelming and they couldn't keep up. And it's not a fluke. Like, they're just a really good team and they should be considered a contender, I guess. If they're going to keep playing like this.
I think they can rush the passer enough. The corners are the weak spot, but Lou Anarumo does a good job. As long as he's got some smart safeties, he can do some stuff and disguise it and really just have a good game plan. And if you have an offense that can get hot like this, not get hot, just be hot, just be dominant, actually. And it's kind of cool. Like, even in the preview show, I was like, oh, the Chargers are good against the slot. Not sure if Downs is playing, but, they're iffy on outside passes. And then sure enough, there's Alec Pierce, getting a couple deep balls. Like the one, he had a 3rd and 16 catch, dunking on guys, a 3rd and 17. And on that was really cool. And you could see the confidence this Colts offense has, which I'm not comparing it 1-to-1, but there's some similarities to like 2017, 2018 Chiefs. So Alex Smith's last year and then Mahomes' first year starting, and where they would just go all these 3rd and longs rather than just check it down, hope for some yak, screen. They're getting into empty and just chucking it. And I think that's confidence in your offense going like, hey, we can actually complete these. Not just a one-off shot, but actually do it every single time. I think that's just how they're playing right now. Like Steichen he's feeling himself right now. And I mean that in a good way because I think the play calls are great. I think he's got a great flow of the game. I think he's calling games confidently. I think their staple stuff's really good. Like the split zone touchdown of Jonathan Taylor. They run that every single week for big plays every single week. And then you got the design plays. You got the jet sweep to Jonathan Taylor for a touchdown. But like you said, the preview show, it was like, all right, the Chargers are 23rd in rushing success rate in early down runs entering today. Colts are first in early down success rate, just any down success rate, 50% on rushing success rate. So it was like, well, the Colts have a natural answer here. The Alec Pierce stuff on the outside, natural answer here. They can beat you in so many different ways. Daniel Jones is playing really well and not making any mistakes. Like he's just not doing what he did in New York. Like he's not fading out of the pocket. He's just getting rid of the ball. And the term is put the ball in play. And when the stuff's so well designed like this, and also like these players are just making good plays, it's like, all right, just get the ball in play and just let them do stuff. And that's exactly what's going on with this Colts offense.
Yeah, on first and second down today, because I was looking at but watching the game. This Colts offensive line, man, they are mowing people down right now.
Yeah.
So if you just look at the Colts runs from first and second down, when they're trying to establish it and get into what they want to do, they average 4.7 yards before contact on first and second down today on the running plays.
God.
Get out
half
the way.
A first down.
Right. Before someone puts a hand on you.
And it's Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
The one that's getting that runway. Yeah. Yeah. His first touchdown, that's exactly what it looked like, because the first guy to get him was the safety, and the safety was Jonathan Taylor's so fast that the safety was just like, oh shoot. Like he just took such a bad angle and they're on touchdown. Man, great shout out. Their offensive line's playing really well. I think it's Tony Sperano Jr. is their O-line coach. So I got to give him a shout out, because it's been all season. And like they moved on from some guys, and the young guys, or the guys that are now playing for them, are playing well. Quentin Nelson's playing some of the best ball of his career. I mean, they're a machine right now. Absolute machine. Yeah, I'm with you. I think Colts are at worst too. And I mean, for sure, in just the AFC. And I think maybe in the NFL, it's like those two, because the NFC is just tough. I do really think the Rams are really, really good as well. Rams are probably the other one up there. And then we'll see kind of how these other games play out. I got to marinate it on right now, but those are the teams that come to mind for me. But Rams did beat the Colts, actually. But no, I do think that this Colts team is it's not fake. We keep saying it week in, week out. It's one of my favorite kind of offenses to watch every single week. One different guy gets going. Tyler Warren's getting going every single week. His touchdown was a great design. And another play that was confidence from Daniel Jones, because that wasn't like the perfect look for that play, but he knew exactly what he was getting. He gets the ball out, boom, touchdown. He gets rewarded with a touchdown because of the design and fooling what the Chargers wanted to get to. So, man, they're rolling right now. I just feel as good about them as about anybody. All right, now it's time to get to the low side. Low number one. Eagles win this game 28-22, and their passing game was great. We will talk about that, but Carson Wentz, that's the low. I just no more. I can't watch Carson Wentz in 2025. I know what I'm getting. We brought up that 30 play stat about the Raiders last year. Remember in week 18 when he played with the Chiefs, that was the record they broke. It was 33 plays in that game when it was with the Chiefs. They played the Broncos. I'm enough of the Wentz, the ducking, the taking hits, throwing the ball up on 2nd 15, getting intentional grounding on a very safe protection play that Greg Olsen did a great job of admonishing and saying that was bad. Just no, enough of it. We'll talk about the Eagles, but what do you feel about Wentz and the Vikings right now? Because I'm tired of it. I don't want to watch it anymore.
I know, like if you just look at like even like the EPA numbers and some of the box score numbers, it looks okay. Like you finished with positive EPA numbers for the day. No,
fake.
It's
Justin Jefferson's
chaos. Yeah, every time he drops back, it's chaos. And I don't understand where as someone who's played like in the NFL for almost a decade now, he's still like dropping back and doing like a Madden drop 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and then he's twirling around and like blind throwing it in double coverage for interceptions. It's just I don't think that you can do this for another week. And I know that maybe he had a couple of nice moments in the fourth quarter where they were trying to make a comeback, but he's the reason you were in that hole in the first place, because you just can't function in a way that lets you like have a coherent offense. So I don't know what they're gonna do. It's getting pretty old though, watching the Carson Wentz experience where he just it's just a mess every single time he touches the ball.
It is the ducking. I don't want to see him duck another again. One more time. Like I just can't see that because I've saw that in 2017 when he was ducking and getting whacked by the sideline. He's still doing it. How do you not get hurt and learn? His internal clock is bad. Like I keep saying that. I made the sundial joke, but it's so true. I even would say the end of the game sequence, you brought up some of the good plays. There was even leading up to there was a sequence there that I like, it gave me hives. Like it gave me anxiety because they were checking the play and they broke the huddle really early. And he just was taking his time getting into the next play. He walked up, communicated, moved a guy. And I was like, go, you guys got to score twice. But it's Greg Olsen though. He did a great job of doing this. Cause I brought up that little protection thing where he got the intentional grounding. And that was saying, he's got a lot of starts to be making that kind of mistake. He was talking about the grounding. Same thing right there. It's like, how do you not just have the like wherewithal of the playing football to be like, okay, we got to be quick. Hey, get effing lined up. You know, the Matt Ryan, like, get set.
Yeah.
Like, how do you
get effing set?
Yeah, get effing set. Like, how do you not know? Because time is of the essence there, more than just getting to that, through the plays. So it's very frustrating to watch him. The pick six, he's hot. They run a hot dropper right underneath it, but again, he's hot, and it's just like gets baited into that as opposed to throwing outside or something of that sort. It's just sorry. I know Vikings fans are like, yeah, we don't want this. It's not like we were cheering for this, but do you think JJ McCarthy adds a boost, or do you just think it's like might as well just see what you got?
Oh boy, I mean, you should see what you got because you spent a lot to go get him, so you might as well go put him on the field, especially like if this is the alternative. If JJ is going to be bad, at least you're bad like learning information about someone you just drafted. So I think with JJ, just put him back in if he's healthy enough to play. When he's healthy enough to play, do I think he'll save anything though? No. I watched that game against the Falcons. I mean, that was some of the worst football that I've seen all year, and even the game against the Bears where he won NFC Player of the Week. He spent the first 3 quarters like not doing anything, like actively being a deterrent for their offense. So I don't think that he's saving anything. I don't think the expectation should be placed upon him that he can save anything.
Correct. That's
just take it one way to put it. One play at a time. One play at a time. Yeah.
Which is a hard conversation, I think, for them to have to try and bridge it. Like, hey, we want to see what we got here, but I know we're trying to compete, but we got to see what we got here. That I mean, it's not my problem. But it's not the most fun problem to do for a bunch of professionals over there. But yeah, it's just tough. Like I agree with you, but I think he does need reps. On the Eagles side, at least holy crap, we actually got to see some explosive plays. I brought up the last time Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense faced Brian Flores defense was 2023, and they couldn't throw the ball to save their lives, but they at least ran the ball. They ran down their throats actually. And but in this game, they couldn't really run the ball, and you're really feeling that week in, week out with the Eagles offense. That's yards before contact. This is the lowest it's been in years in this Eagles offense. The rushing success rate's down. But today, this is what the whole Eagles ecosystem needs. You just need the launch balls. Just throw it to these really good receivers you got named A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and good things happen. That's all this offense has to do. And today we actually got to see it. They had 8 explosive passes, which of course, that's the math that this offense needs. It's not passing success rate. They just need to get 40% passing. And then you could just go get these launch balls. But under center play action was their changeup today. They'd only run it 6 times entering today. And the yards gained on those 6 times were 0, 0, -1, 7, and 1. So not pretty really good. Like their forte. And then today they ran it 4 times. Basically every Devontae Smith big play was under center play action, except for like one of them. Yards gained 2, 79, 19, 21, and including that long touchdown. That was a 79-yarder. It's just, that's self-scouting. This is what you do after a mini bye week. It's encouraging. Was it all perfect? No. There was moments and stretches where it was not great, but there was a lot of good here. And actually, I thought Jalen Hurts threw a lot of confident footballs today. Other touchdown, one of the huge plays, A.J. Brown, was like the post touchdown in the red zone. That's a real confident throw with timing. The Sluggo route to A.J. Brown was great confidence from the offense, even though I thought it was predictable. And Brian Flores should not brought the house on that play. Especially, that's what they're going to do. They want to go get it.
Yeah.
The fourth down to get the touchdown to A.J. Brown. Those were all just plays that was like, at least there's that coming back in this offense, because I do think it's inconsistent, but at least we're getting these explosives. But what did you think about the Eagles offense?
I mean, I honestly, I thought that was one of the best games I've seen Hurts play maybe ever. Yeah, for certain this year. And I think even going back into last year, including the Super Bowl performance, I thought that was one of the best games that he's played in a really long time. And it was fun to see, because you remember that this Eagles offense, like, they're literally playmakers. And I know the running game hasn't been working well, and that's been shut down, but still, like, even when Saquon Barkley isn't going, you still should be able to score points with the supporting cast, and they did that today. And also, they were a lot more competent than I thought they would be, because last week I thought we would kind of see what happened the last time they played Brian Flores, where they get confused and it gets bogged down and you can't really do anything. And maybe you walk out of there with an L to an even worse offense on the other side with Carson Wentz. But no, they powered through and they kind of diced them up. That was a really impressive game from Hurts and the rest of the offense. And hopefully for their sake and the chemistry of that team, they can kind of keep that rolling going forward, because I'm sure they're feeling good today. But, that's a day-to-day thing over in that locker room.
Hour to hour. I mean, that's what it really does feel like. Oh, man, that was a bad week to have a long week for them. When you lose like that on Thursday night. Speaking of, I would say one team that's had a lot of long weeks this year. This is low number 2. Browns, I mean, just completely dominate the Dolphins. Let's be frank here. In a messy weather type of game, one offense felt like they had a decent plan. They gave the ball to their young running back, Quinshon Judkins, did enough through the air and really controlled things on defense. And the other one, which was an offense that used to score a lot of points, I mean, there was some just aimless drives, some throws not getting there. Just 1-6 Dolphins, I think, reach a new low now, losing to this Browns team. What'd you think of this game, and what's next for the Dolphins? Because I don't really know what else to say about them.
This is terrible, but I'm going to say it anyways. When I saw that this game going into halftime, what was the score going into halftime? It was 17-6, right? Put this. Then that's when this game became a fixture on one of my quad boxes, because like, oh, we got Tua in the second half needing multiple scores against the Browns defensive line. Like, I am locked into that. And in the second half, it went just as poorly as I think we all thought it would. On 12 dropbacks, he had 56 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. Minus 1.6 EPA per dropback. I mean, just I don't think you can put him out there again. I think you have to bench Tua, because
going Quinn Ewers.
Well, sure. At least Quinn Ewers ain't talking crap about his teammates and then going through 3 interceptions against the Browns. Like, I don't know. That's not tenable. I can't not like you and you're throwing picks. Like, that's no good. So I think they have to consider it, because this is just not. Yeah. Because today was nothing.
Can't keep doing this.
They got pants. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep getting pants, and you can't keep giving yourself no chance to win in crunch time.
No, I know. And you can't keep, I mean, something's got to happen. Like, just something. It just can't. This is a long season. We're not even halfway there. We this is, I mean, we said it, one of the early games for them, they felt like just a white flag already. They lose the Colts week 1, I think it was. That's what it just felt like. It was just like a white flag already, because none of the guys wanted to do anything. The thing that's so interesting about, sorry, this is kind of like a aside, but like Nick Saban and media, is he has so many relevant players that he's coached in the NFL. So it's like weekly on College Game Day or whatever, the lead up to College Game Day throughout the week on ESPN. It's just kind of one of those things where they interview him all the time about one of his former players. And this week it was like, he's like addressing Tua through the media, and it's just such a surreal thing for me. I think I would just never picture Nick Saban in media in the first place. But no, he's just like saying Tua should have never done that, but it was good that he like came back out. But I was like, oh, where are we at? This guy's like year 6 in the NFL? Like
something like that.
And we're
year 6.
Yeah, and we're talking about like that, like, oh, he can't be making these mistakes. There was one pass he had, and this is why Tua has the strengths where it's like get the ball quick and his accuracy. But this is where, like the Herbert Tua things and just maybe what the whole arguments about quarterback traits even is that there was a throw he had today. It was a 10-yard out route. He was on his own, same hash, so it wasn't a field out route. And he can't step into it because he has a little pressure. He throws it and the ball nosedives on him. Like it actually it wasn't a throw where it was just like aimless and it just missed. It was just that he threw it to the right spot with the right timing, but the ball just didn't have enough oomph and it actually like tilted, like it was like a fade ball. And that's just what I mean. It was like, we're already having those limitations. And like you said, you can't talk like that and throw the interceptions. So if you're turning the ball over, man, and I think, head coach wise, it's just like McDaniel's just every week out there, every press conference is sadder and sadder. It's just, it's pretty tough to watch right now. It's like, just please do something, trade somebody, do something, please just do something. I can't keep watching this. I can't.
Just throw your hands up and just wait until the guillotine at the end of the season. Just wait for the guillotine. That's all they're doing.
That's it. At least the Browns got some cool young players. Like Fannin is so cool. Your Hernandez comp is so good. And then I'm enjoying watching Quinshon Judkins run the ball. Like he's such a good runner between the tackles. They have some cool plays to him. So it's they have at least something I can watch on this team. Myles Garrett in the defense, but Dolphins, not so much. Just sad. All right, low number 3. And don't worry, we'll get to that Broncos-Giants game at the very end. Yeah, we're throwing in some extra credit there. All right, low number 3. Cowboys doubled the Commanders, 44-22. And, I mean, it was entertaining. But the Commanders' offense felt a little today. And especially, I know they still have some injuries, especially at the receiver spot. And now you're going against a Cowboys defense that's been kind of everybody else's mouthwash. Kind of like, okay, let's get right here. And then on top of it, Jane Daniels gets injured on a fumble and then gets hurt. They give the thumbs up to his mom, apparently. So we're good there. So hopefully it's not long term, but just couldn't do anything against a defense that a lot of teams have been doing a lot of stuff against. What'd you think? I mean, we got to praise the Cowboys too, because their offense is cooking right now. Ton of fun to watch. But what'd you think about this Commanders performance and really just overall this game, Chuck?
I thought that was pretty disappointing from the Commanders. Even before Jaden Daniels got hurt, just not a consistent enough day moving the ball. Like you said, against a defense that's been everyone's mouthwash. And shoot, the Panthers last week scored. The Panthers last week scored 30 and had one in dramatic fashion. We've seen a whole bunch of teams just walk up and down the field, and it just felt a little stuck. For the Commanders, and then once Jaden got hurt, that was kind of that. But even it never really felt like they could quite get into a rhythm, and then they were able to rip off like a couple big plays in the first half. But overall, like even when you look at some of their yards per play, they were 5.8 yards per play, which sounds okay, but 35 or 37% drop back success rate, and it felt like that didn't feel like Jaden Daniels really got comfortable today, and I think they're obviously missing the Terry McLaurin not being out there because there's just no way that you should be struggling with this defense. This has been the defense that everyone destroys, everyone. And the fact that they were down like 41-15 at one point. I can understand getting shredded by Dallas's offense because they are on a mission right now. Dak is playing like robot quarterback, but to not be able to match that against them, that was a little troubling.
Yeah, I know it's hard because it's like Devo's out too. But the thing was, it's just the Cowboys defense where it's like, I just still feel like you can hang at least for a little bit, but it didn't feel like they had some nice moments. Also had one of the best punt and downing of the punts that you'll see in your lifetime. That was so cool at the 1 yard line. Mm-hmm. But it was just, it was a lot of Zach Ertz, and Zach Ertz can only get you so far in 2025. And I still like the Commanders' run game. I still think they got really cool stuff going on there. But the passing game has to pop some stuff. Luke McCaffrey's a nice role player. That's the thing. A lot of these role players had to really step up in their roles because the top two guys are out. And that's where you kind of feel the thinness of this team. A lot of Robbie Anderson. Is it Robbie Chosen now? Because you got a lot.
I think it's Robbie Chosen still. Yeah, I think it's still
Robbie Chosen. Yeah. Did you see Tom Brady had a funny quote? He was like, yeah, he's wearing 12 and he got all excited when he saw me today. And, when he was with the Jets, you could tell Tom was trying to be nice. And he was just like, he would come up to me before. We have a fun relationship. Like an interesting relationship. So it's like, obviously Robbie just comes up to him and talks, and Tom Brady's like, okay, like, okay, we do that. I know you covered Robbie.
I covered Robbie. Yeah, dude, I love Robbie. I think he's the best. He's not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought he was an absolute gem to talk to.
I'm sure
if you could get him to talk to you. If you could get him to talk to you, yeah.
I did a show with him on NFL Network this summer, so that's like funny to watch him now. It's like, hey, that guy was hey, we were working together a couple months ago. My coworker's out there. I know. It's just kind of this how the Commanders are feeling. Maybe it's more not just a low here, but just like their low of like, man, they just can't get over these injuries. They can't get that consistency going, where both sides are putting up a good performance. And then I think the defense still is gettable. And I mean, the Cowboys are getting everybody right now on offense, basically, unless you're Panthers, apparently. But no, I do think that, man, it's the Cowboys offense. Yeah, Clayton Adams is going to be one of the hottest names in coaching. But I do think that this Commanders team just something's off with them right now. And obviously Jaden Daniels getting hurt as the negative cherry on the bottom. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that not what you make sense?
It does. Like the last thing I have on the Commanders, I think they're in a similar spot to the Chargers, where one of the things I was kind of keeping track of this year was you have these teams, they both picked top 5 last year. Teams that pick in the top 5 usually are pretty bad, right? It could take a while for them to get going. But you sprint. Year one, you sprint, make the playoffs. Commanders all the way to the MC title game. But like you were still picking number 2 like 8 months ago. And there's still remnants of that team that's here. So when guys for the Chargers and the Commanders, they start getting hurt, like their top line guys, you still see, oh my God, they have no depth here. There's nothing here that can, kind of buoy the tide while guys are out. So it's still going to take a couple more off seasons for both those squads. And I think today was a reminder for both of them. Yeah. Great
point. No, that's a great point. All right. Extra credit here. We had some close calls for contenders. One of them that was like, was a close call, and then was an upset, and then it was a close call, and then was an upset, and then it was a close call. That was the Broncos beating the Giants 33-32. And I can't say I enjoyed all of this game because I thought there was a lot of bad football that got played between these two teams. There's some cool moments.
Mostly bad football.
But, man, the fourth quarter was absolutely insane. The Broncos scored all of their points in the fourth quarter, and it felt like they all came in the last, 2.5 minutes. We had tip touchdowns for both sides. One in the red zone, one to Theo Johnson on a catch and run on 3rd and forever. We had screen touchdown to Cam Scadaboo. I actually kind of was giving us props. I was like, hey, we said the Giants might hang for a little bit here because their line play, but I don't know. What did you? I just want to know what your thoughts were on this game because this game gave me the sweats in my good way and bad way by the end of it.
No, you were talking about getting hives earlier. That's how I felt during the final Giants drive. Like I felt absolutely disgusted watching.
What game did you say this reminded you of?
It reminded me of the Florida drive that he had when he was at Ole Miss last year, where if you go back and watch that game, and this drive ended better than the Florida drive did, but he almost threw 3 or 4 interceptions that ended the game. And he almost
Broncos players were literally knocking each other out because so many of them were near the ball. And which happened in the Florida game too, I think. I think Florida guys got hurt because they're hitting each other because they were so close to picking off the ball. There's so many of them. And it happened several times in one drive.
And then the DPI and the roughing, I was like, oh my God. Like in the DPI, the pass, it was so bad. I don't think he got close to throwing a single pass on target that entire drive. And then you get the hero moment where it gets the quarterback dive and he dives over the front or dives at the goal line and they win. It looks like they're about to win the game. And then some spindly old kicker wearing 99. Who's this kicker wearing 99 who looks like he weighs 140 pounds for the Giants? Because they keep having issues with Graham Gano getting hurt for 2 or 3 years now. I'm like, why do you guys keep tolerating
this? Has happened multiple times. Yeah.
Yes. And then this guy missed and, Bo Nix, bada bing, bada boom. Broncos win. That was the worst potential game-winning drive I think I've ever seen. It's just really bad.
No, I agree. The Giants one was like, oh, they're going to get away with this. That's unbelievable. But that's how the game kind of felt. And then I mean, the Broncos, Bo Nix's first pass, I think it got completed Sutton, or I don't think he was trying to throw to Sutton and went over him and it got completed. And then it was a back shoulder to Sutton, which actually was a nice play. And then it was set up and then they kicked the field goal. But man, that entire game. I watched it and I was like, is this even good? They had no timeouts either. And they just drove the whole field.
No.
And Vance Joseph just kept blitzing, and Jackson Dart was finding plays of blitz throughout the game. And I thought it was so kind of, I don't know if it's ironic is the right word for it, but Sean Payton games it out for his quarterbacks where he calls a lot of plays, a lot of play action near the red zone and gets you those touchdowns. And there's a 4-play sequence where I think he threw the ball every single time early in the game. They got stuffed and were able to score. It was a pass to Garrett Bowles, a sprint out, nothing popped open, and a receiver screen that got blown up. And I thought it was funny that it was like he's trying to game it there. And at the end of the game, when it was just like, whatever, there's Bo Nix hitting plays. It's just stuff happening, apparently. I don't know. I just thought that was just kind of funny, just how it actually worked. He ran in a touchdown, which was nice. But I don't know. Against Dart and this Giants offense, I would just drop 8 every single time and just make them read it out. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
They can run it on you, but just drop 8.
Yeah. Because I get the tendency to just be like, man, let's just destroy the pocket and make, but he's not bad on when it comes to that second play. I will give him that. Sometimes when he can keep his eye upfield and extend that play and throw downfield, he is pretty solid at that. Now there's a lot of times where he takes sacks and gets himself hurt en route to trying to do that, but it's not totally lost with him. There are some things that you can build on here. And wow, just what a weird game. I don't know how you feel about that if you're a Broncos fan. Do you just forget everything you saw the first 3 quarters? I guess
that's just the Broncos period this year. It's like I don't know how to put my finger on them. I think they're good. Question mark. That's just how I feel about them. But no, I agree with you. Dart at least is fun. He's going to try some stuff. He's going to run around a little bit. But yeah, he's just a little chaotic right now, so it's a little inconsistent at times. All right, wrap up with last extra credit. This other one. Packers beat the Cardinals late, and Packers just seem to keep having a couple of these where these just really close games that just they can't put away a team that they are heavy favorites against. But Packers win, beat Jacoby Brissett. Micah Parsons had 9 pressures, 7 quick pressures, 2 sacks on 26 pass rushes, 1 out of 3 dropbacks he got a pressure on when he was rushing the passer. What'd you think of this game, Chuck?
I'm trying to figure out how good I think the Packers are. I don't, because they looked like a dominant contender in the early part of the season, and since then they've just kind of been okay. So I don't. I kind of struggle to figure out if they still are going to be that team. But when they keep playing close games against the Cardinals, and they keep playing close games against some of these other teams, it does kind of make you want to lose confidence in them.
Right. No, that's exactly how I feel with them. It's just I want to feel good about them, but I just can't just get over the top with the Packers and everything with what they're doing. Even though, I don't know, their highs are highs, I still feel good about it. I should say that. Stopping the run, I got to watch them a little bit more, how they're getting to it, because the defensive tackle injuries is a little worrisome to me, or defensive tackle depth. But I don't know. I still feel good about them. They still got Parsons. They still got Jordan Love. And maybe they're watching everything. So it's the highs of the Packers I still trust. So I'm keeping the faith for now, but it's just man, just put a team away.
Right. But it is, when you're talking about the highs, when you get to the end of that game and you are facing, you're facing Jacoby Brissett, a potential game-winning drive. Micah Parsons absolutely dusts Jonah Williams and closes that game right when you need to at the end. Just crushed him. It took 2 seconds for him to get there. And ultimately, that's why you go get a guy like that, and that's why you have high-level players. So, it's certainly not doom and gloom, and it's not like they can't go reach their heights this year. It's just, you should be putting away teams that are starting Jacoby Brissett maybe a little bit better than you are, and, stop playing some of these close games against bad teams.
They got next Sunday night against the Steelers. That should be a nice, good one to kind of prove and grow. Aaron Rodgers revenge game. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. That'll be a fun one. It shouldn't be a revenge game. The time passed. Jordan Love's very good. So, but you're right. The Micah Parsons closes out. That's why I shared the 7 quick pressures, because it felt like that. And they got closers. Jordan Love's a closer, and I think Micah Parsons is a closer. It's just just getting there, just keeping these games at least where they don't trip over themselves to at least get to that point. Tucker Kraft looks incredible. The pass catchers are getting there. We'll see if Christian Watson comes back soon. So there's just a lot to like with the Packers, and that's why I'm just kind of like, but even if they are frustrating at times, that's why you get to share they're the youngest team in the NFL stat. That's what you just got to say for the third year in a row. That's what just every excuse about. They're so young. Just wait.
Yeah, don't look that they've actually played a lot together at this point. They're still young.
I know. At least they're catching the ball now. But we're closing it out today. I got a Mariners game to check out along with the Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, rise up, buddy.
You got your Falcons right now too. So we're closing it out today. I'll be back on Tuesday with Matt. We'll have more takeaways from week 7. I'm Nate Tice. You can find me at Nate_Tice. That's Charles McDonald. You can find him at 4Verts. Subscribe to us, follow us, rate us, pretty please, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, just watch us on YouTube right here. Whoever watches us live right now, thank you for joining us, especially with Sunday Night Football already going. This is great. Blame the Broncos-Giants game for running late. I always say it was, I guess, entertaining. It was good schlock. I'll put it that way. But thank you all. Yeah, it was. Thank you all for checking us out, watching us live. Thank you to Stone, Awesome Mass, and Behind the Scenes for making us look and sound good. Thank you all for listening. See you guys next time.